WDAM 7 First Alert Weather.
Hey folks, and welcome back. Taking a look at the radar right now. Southern Pine Electric radar showing the clouds moving to the north, the showers and thunderstorms moving to the north, most of them just off to our west. We did have a couple of showers across parts of Marion and now in parts of Jeff Davis and Covington County. A little bit drier in the mid-levels. That's why the sky is a bit bluer for today and why we don't have quite as many clouds. Next system is back here, though, starting to get its act together and eventually move through our neck of the woods. More on that in a second. Speaking of getting its act together, how about good old Tropical Storm Arlene? That was the subtropical depression number 1 yesterday. Now Tropical Storm Arlene for today. Winds at 45, gusting to 60 miles an hour. So Patrick did that story yesterday. We heard from the National Weather Service that, hey, it's not rare that you see a tropical system this time of the year. It happens all the time, right? Well, it's happened twice. I would consider that kind of rare, but during the satellite era, just the second named tropical storm in April, we had Tropical Storm Anna, 2003, and since 1950 there have been 5 total storms, so 5 over about the last 67 years. Again, I don't know, I wouldn't call that not rare, that's for sure. As we head through the next couple of days, a little bit closer to home, by the time we get to Saturday afternoon, I know a lot of folks trying to make weekend plans. If you have plans for Saturday morning, you're good. I've heard from a lot of folks saying, hey, I got a bike ride that I'm trying to go on. We've got, a picnic in the afternoon, weddings. I'm just trying to relax and enjoy the weekend, Nick. What is going to happen on Saturday afternoon? Well, the RPM here seems to be very aggressive on the timing for this, meaning it's a little earlier in the day. By noon or noon 30 across some of our northwestern counties. By the time we get to 2 o'clock, it's very scattered stuff across the area, but nevertheless, still looking at rain showers kind of here and there as early as 2 o'clock. So we're going to shift the timeline for this a little bit earlier in the day. However, I will say this is going to be pretty scattered in nature. We're not looking at a big line of thunderstorms to develop and move through like we were kind of originally thinking until I think we get past about 6, 7 o'clock at night, and then I think things actually will probably try to sharpen up as it moves into parts of Alabama. It's tough, though, this time of the year because these cold fronts, they run into these big ridges of high pressure over the southeastern United States, and they just don't have as much oomph as they did earlier in the year when that big area of high pressure wasn't quite as strong. So we're playing an interesting game of chicken between the cold front and the ridge of high pressure. In terms of your overall threat, a marginal risk for severe weather from the SPC, and we tend to agree with that. The marginal goes across the board for pretty much everything. You may be able to squeeze out a slight risk for a strong wind gust out of some of these storms, but that's probably about as bad as it's going to get. We're back down to a 3.19, so the numbers are kind of fluctuating between the high 2s and the low 3s for your Carey stressometer. We're still looking at just a raised eyebrow. And again, you divide this in half to find your SPC risk. We're just trying to give you guys as much advance warning as possible. And hey, wouldn't you guess it, we're down at about 1.5, which is between a marginal and a slight risk. And how about that? That's what we're sitting at. A marginal risk for us, a slight risk just off to our north. Not bad. 61 degrees in Hattiesburg tomorrow morning, 62 in Columbia. A little bit of fog out there tomorrow again, so give yourself 5 to 10 extra minutes to get wherever it is that you're going tomorrow morning. Again, we will break out of this fog stuff soon. Just hang with it one more day. 87 degrees in Hattiesburg into the afternoon, so it's going to be a warm one. 86 in Laurel and in Collins. And taking a look at the next 7 days, well, back in behind this cold front, while it doesn't have a lot of oomph to create showers, thunderstorms, and severe weather, it will, take a pretty good karate chop at our afternoon high temperatures. Just 69 degrees on Sunday. I think most of us will be hovering right about 70 or so with an isolated shower or storm possible very early in the day before we warm things up next week. Gary?